Unstoppable by Cynthia Kersey. 45 powerful stories of perseverance and triumph from people just like you. Unstoppable. Make sure that the career you choose is one you enjoy. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, it will be difficult to give the extra time, effort, and devotion it takes to be a success. If it is a career that you find fun and enjoyable, then you will do whatever it takes. You will give freely of your time and effort, and you will not feel that you are making a sacrifice in order to be a success. Kathy Whitworth, professional golfer. Unstoppable. She gave new shape to the shoe business. Then she added the soul. Why not? That's what Sherry Polk kept asking herself when she and her friends came out of exercise class with backaches and sore feet because their shoes were all wrong. Sherry did some research and discovered that women's athletic shoes were only scaled down versions of men's shoes, although the female foot is shaped differently. She and her husband, Martin Baratella, had been looking for the right business to start and thought, why not? Why not start a company that manufactures athletic shoes specifically designed for a woman's foot? Shoes that fit. People were more than willing to tell Sherry and Martin why not. For one thing, the couple had no capital and no experience in the industry. Experts said it was sheer lunacy to think anyone could compete against Nike and Reebok, huge companies that dominated the athletic shoe market. Besides, neither Sherry nor Martin had a college degree. Sherry's education had been cut short after she'd been raped in her freshman year. The traumatic event was followed by years of bulimia, hepatitis, and other health problems stemming from the attack. Sherry's dedication to fitness helped her through the healing process. Having conquered the biggest obstacle, recovering from such a degrading physical assault, Sherry knew she could meet the challenge of creating the perfect fitness shoe for women. First, she did her own footwork. Posing as a graduate student, she spent months interviewing hundreds of customers and shoe sales clerks. Her research confirmed a real need for women's athletic shoes. For seed money, Sherry and her husband took a third mortgage on their modest home and borrowed from friends, family, and anyone who shared their enthusiasm for the project. Then they went to venture capitalists for serious financing. The reactions were always the same, recalled Sherry. They said it was insane to think we could break into this market having no experience within this industry and create a new brand in such a competitive field. They suggested we take the idea to Nike or Reebok and forget about doing it ourselves. We started Rekka because we knew the demand was great and no one was addressing the need. We dreamed of one day seeing our shoes on aerobics instructors in retail stores and having a booth at a big convention right next to Nike and Reebok. It was a picture so exhilarating that any negativity I heard didn't even matter. Still, it wasn't easy. Their dream required an enormous financial investment, and venture capitalists suggested the best way to raise the money was to take their new company public. After several months, Sherry and Martin found an investment banker who thought the idea of shoes made by women for women was a hot one. The banker loaned them $250,000 and gave them a letter of intent to go public in the spring of 1988. Sherry and Martin were finally on their way. They say timing is everything, but time didn't seem to be on Sherry and Martin's side. Just as they were about to go public, the stock market crashed. I was in shock. Sherry remembered. How were we supposed to pull off an initial public offering right after a crash? They expected a call from their banker asking for the money back. Instead, the banker called the next day to say there was still a tremendous amount of interest in Rekka and they were going to move forward with the initial public offering. Rekka Inc. went public 5 months later. The offering raised $4 million in stock before Rekka had shipped a single shoe. The future looked bright indeed. Sherry and Martin's undying passion and commitment enabled them to overcome a major hurdle. In the following months, they would need that commitment. The first pair of specially ordered shoes arrived and Sherry put them on. Her heart sank. The shoes were nothing like the ones they had designed. The manufacturer had mistakenly used the wrong foot form and had simply made a smaller version of a man's shoe. The whole point of their enterprise had been lost, and thousands of the shoes had already shipped to retailers nationwide. Sherry acted quickly. She contacted key retailers and buyers and explained the production problem. The stores returned the shoes, and Sherry had the shoes remade according to the original specifications. Rekka was back in business, but had missed an entire season of selling. The loss of time was a major setback. Sherry knew she had better get the word out about her new product, and fast. With limited funds, she designed a program for the women who could be walking billboards for her product, aerobics instructors. She offered her shoes to the instructors at a discount, then challenged them to put her shoes to the test. After wearing the shoes, the aerobics instructors immediately experienced a difference. They spread the word about Rekka shoes, and a grassroots movement developed. It was time to expand her reach even further, and another why not occurred to Sherry. In 1987, there were almost no women executives in the athletic footwear industry. Sherry wanted to capitalize on her uniqueness, and since Rekka could not afford a national advertising campaign, she came up with an alternative plan. Sherry took her story to the media. She hired an inexpensive public relations firm and sent a pair of shoes and a letter telling the Rekka story to the editors of key magazines and newspapers. Her strategy worked. Within a year, Sherry was featured in Entrepreneurial Women and Working Women and in dozens of articles in trade publications for the sporting goods industry. One notable woman to whom Sherry sent her package was Oprah Winfrey. Every few months, Sherry sent boxes of shoes and t-shirts to Oprah and her staff, hoping to get their attention. One day, the phone rang. Oprah's producer was calling to invite Sherry to be on Oprah's show. I was so shocked, Sherry remembered, that I turned white and could barely breathe. The producer said Sherry had not originally been on Oprah's list, but during a staff meeting, they were considering various female entrepreneurs for an upcoming show. And Oprah noticed the boxes of Rekka shoes stacked in a corner of the room. I know, Oprah has suggested, what about our Rekka women? Sherry's appearance on the show was the chance to show off her innovative footwear to a nationwide audience of millions of women viewers. Within weeks, all of Rekka's shoes sold out, and the company had no stock to replace them. What should have been a business bonanza became a setback that took Rekka 3 months to recover from, while Sherry reorganized her company to meet the demand. Years later came another unexpected break in the form of England's Princess Diana. Reading about Princess Diana's public confession of her battle with bulimia, Sherry acted on impulse and wrote the princess a letter to express sympathy and share her own story. Sherry wrote not as a fan or as a shoe manufacturer, but as a fellow survivor. To ensure that the letter reached Diana's desk, Sherry asked her distributor in the United Kingdom to find out the name of Princess Diana's trainer. A package was sent to the trainer, and she agreed to deliver the note and a pair of shoes to the princess. Sherry's letter yielded unexpected rewards. In every photograph Sherry saw of Diana during the next 3 months, the princess was wearing records. Women around the world also saw those records and began buying the shoes in increasing numbers. In 1994, records sales reached an all-time high of $15 million. Yet, for all her success, Sherry felt the real soul of the company was missing. We are a company that sells products solely to women. I felt a need to contribute on the corporate level to women's well-being. I had always felt that if my company became profitable, I wanted to make a difference. Realizing that domestic violence had become the leading cause of injury to women, Sherry founded Regaining One's Self-Esteem, Rose, a separate nonprofit foundation that funds shelters, education programs, and rape crisis centers. Additionally, each pair of record shoes carries a tag offering women tips on how to be safe and what to do if attacked. Sherry Poe gave the sporting goods industry a wake-up call about the importance of the women's market. Since then, the women's athletic footwear industry has grown into a $5 billion industry. Recca, now merged with Global Sports, Inc., continues to sell shoes designed especially for women's feet. Sherry remains founder and spokesperson for Recca and is now pursuing another entrepreneurial passion, developing children's products. Thanks to Sherry Poe's passion and determination, women can now work out in shoes that fit their needs. Even more importantly, the sales of those shoes mean that thousands of abused women are safer and more confident. Why not? I believe the reason that we were able to do this was because we saw a need in the market, had incredible passion, and were committed to making it happen. Our enthusiasm was totally infectious, and we found people who wanted to help us. Sherry Poe. 45 powerful stories of perseverance and triumph from people just like you.